warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everybody, before we begin, let me introduce myself briefly. I'm Ismi Nurrahma and I'm a student of Library Science majoring in UIN Sunan Kalijaga. Today, I'm going to be talking about library users and how they affect around us. As prospective librarians, we must know the types of library users. First of all, I explain type of users commonly. I'll be continue by type of users according to some experts which each opinion will be explained later. Finally, I'll briefly explain about users' obligation in library. Have you ever seen a person or entity who has an interest in the information they're used? Library users, either individual, group, or community who take advantage of library services facilities. So, it can be interpreted that the user is browsing every of information in a library. In this development in this era, we have to look at library users based on their information needs. Although the users are close to digital technology, they are known to have minimal finding power in obtaining and finding information resources. Therefore, experience and wise behavior are indispensable for librarians in serving the information needs of library visitors. One of them is knowing the types of library users, so we can serve them well. One day, I visited a library in Yogyakarta, Gratama Pustaka. There, I saw a lot of library users. Of course, the characteristics of each user are different. I saw there were groups, alone, and together. Others are quiet, curious, and indifferent. From there, I want to know more about the types of library users. Before delving deeper into user types, I'd like to know the reasons people visit to the library. This can be related to the type or character of the user that will be formed later. In Fisher's opinion, 1988, users visit the library because of a need that they want to fulfill. There are three needs that are often encountered by library users. There are need for information. It means there are need for general information. Second, needs for material and facilities. It is the need to get book or other library materials, as well as the need for library facilities that support learning activities. The last, need for the guidance and support. It means the need to get guidance or directions that make it easier for users to get what they need. Libraries are developed to meet the information needs of a group of people who are commonly termed as library users. In fact, all the staff, collection, services aims to satisfy the users only. As such, user is the focal point of all information activities at all levels in any kinds of library. There are various terms like client, reader, user, customer, member, etc., which are used to refer to those who use a library. The definition of library user is the person who is actively seeking access to the data or information available in the libraries and who, when successfully obtains and uses the data or information, is described as a library user. According to Kenneth Whittaker, a user may be defined as a person who uses one or more library services at least once a year. Unlike other systems or services, users are human and therefore difficult to classify. Users can be grouped by the type of activities they perform in the library. In university library, users are the student, research scholars, faculties, and the staff. In case of the public library, the users are general people, students, research scholars, businessmen, and others. It can be assumed that in the public libraries the users are almost heterogeneous, and in academic and special libraries the users are almost homogeneous in nature. Users can also be classified according to their age group as children, young adult, and adult. The population in and around a library can be of two types, users and non-users. Non-users. Those who do not use a library would be considered non-users. Users. Users refer to those who use the library resources or avail its services. Generally, users are grouped into two categories, actual users and potential users. Actual user. Actual user makes use of the library and its resources. He is a person who obtains data, information, or documents from or through libraries and may be understood not only in terms of the user request, but also in terms of the forms of demand that he satisfies directly. Potential user. Potential users mean the users for whom the library systems or services were designed, but who for various reasons do not make use of its resources or services. Potential users may be converted in the course of time into actual or non-users by providing orientation, library extension services, and so on. Next, we talk about types of users according to some experts. Ranganathan has grouped user community on the basis of various types of services enunciated by him. This group includes the following. First, fresher. The fresher or the freshman is the new member of the library. He or she should be initiated to the library and introduced to the world of books and how to find them, depending upon his or her reading interest. Second, ordinary reader. He or she is an ordinary person with demand for ordinary books and ordinary services from the library. Third, specialist reader. A specialist user is one who specialized in a narrow field of a subject. His demand for book will also be specific and research-oriented. The last is general reader. This is an assorted group of users which is not included in any of the above user groups. Werner Kahns, on the basis of user approach to information in libraries, categorized the users into the following categories. First, potential user. It is the one who needs information but may not be able to express their information requirement properly. Hence, it can be provided by specific library services oriented to her or him. Second, expected user. It is the one who is known to have the intention of using certain information services. Third, actual user. It is the one who has actually used on information service regardless of whether he or she has derived any advantage from it or not. The last, beneficiary user. It is the one of who derives a measurable advantage from the information services provided by the library. Kenneth Whittaker categorized users as follows. First, general readers. They concentrate on the use of light reading materials available in the library. Second, subject readers. They concentrate on the use of library materials available on a subject field of their interest. Third, special readers. They are having a special information needs, need some special library services, like visually impaired users. The last, non-reading users. They make use of library materials, but not reading materials, like coming into the library just to borrow a video or audio cassette. Next, we talk about users' obligation in the library. The users in the library are supposed to follow the following rules. First, know and respect library rules. The users should try their best to know the basic rules of the library and are supposed to follow them. Second, respect copyright laws. The users have to educate themselves about copyright laws, intellectual property rights, and other limitations on how information can be used and shared. Third, report problems. report all issues or problems to the library staff in a timely manner and with proper decorum. So finally, we talk about conclusion. The generally categories of users will vary from library to library. In a public library, the users may include professionals, students, housewives, laymen, and businessmen, and so on. When it comes to information, the right of the users becomes obligation of the librarians. The library staff should make time to interact with the users during their visit to the library. This will allow the library staff to keep up to date with the users' changing needs. Okay, I think that's enough for the presentation about library users. Of course, there are many mistakes when I pronounce or maybe grammar, so I'm sorry for it. Thank you for your attention. See you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.